Hi, Jackie here for Hey Little Magpie using Simple Stories Say Chilled Wild collection. This month I'm going to be putting together a mini journal using this collection to document a recent visit to a local safari park. I've also using this lovely collection, cardstock collection, colour vibes, and this is the bold one. And the colours of this this cardstock works well with this collection. I'll just flick through the papers, and as you can see, it's got lots of animal print on there. This collection is mainly designed for Animal Kingdom over in Florida, but it will work well with any animal print photographs. There's a few elements that is themed for Animal Kingdom, like Wild Kingdom and the Big Tree and Tree of Life. But everything else you can just, incorporate into any UK safari or zoo visit. So I've got some extra brads, the bits and pieces pack. I got some flare badges, wood veneer, and enamel dots and a selection of ribbons, as you can see. Recently I also did a workshop to how to make these signatures. So these are some of the bits and pieces that I still had in the folder. Tags and tabs and tickets, things I'd already stamped onto, vellum envelopes, vellum sheets, a big massive doily. So I want to see if I can incorporate some of those into my mini journal. So I started off by cutting this green cardstock down to 8 inches. So when it folds in half, it's 6 inches in half. And then I just went through all the papers and the cardstock. I didn't use the dark blue card in this collection because that didn't work. But all the other cards in the collection, the bold collection, worked perfectly. Then I just went through all the papers and I literally just cut down various size, just making sure that each page was less than 8 inches high. And also making sure that they're all cut in the right direction as well. Because some of them, like that orange paper, is like a slight design to it with little trees on it. So I wanted to make sure that that was in the right order. Right way around, sorry. So I did measure to say I'm cutting it down to 4 inches, but I wasn't really bothered which piece was 4 inches, which was at 2 inches. Things was at 3 inches and things like that. As long as I knew they were under 8 inches, when I was cutting it down, I was fine with that. I also had a piece of vellum paper that I cut in half, an A4 sheet that I cut in half. And then I wanted to use these, I do use the graph paper. I'll show you in a minute. So now it's a case of getting all the sheets that I've just cut down and making sure I've got, not necessarily in the right order at this stage, but that everything's in the right way around, considering, with little pattern papers. And I just folded them in half, make sure they're really creased at one end, at the left-hand side, and put them all together to form a booklet like this. So all my pages will have different size pages as I flick through. I do put this graph paper in, and I use the orange sheet there as a guide to how I want it to be. Just measure the orange paper, and then I can make sure that that's similar height and goes in there. I do end up making some extra pockets. So I start with this green one, and I want to make it just an extra feature to the page. So I decided this one measures 12 by 5 inches, and I score it at 2.5 and 5.5. And it just gives me an element at the right hand side, so I can tuck some tags into it. You'll see in a minute how it looks when I've put it all together. And I just add tape down the two sides, just so that I can put some tags in. It just adds a bit more interest as you're flicking through the mini book. So there, it'll be like that. And then I'll be able to add some little tags into the right hand side. Now, when I started doing the pages, I did do pattern paper cardstock, but I think as I go along, they get so muggled up, so it doesn't bother me. It looks fine to me. So this piece of paper, cardstock, measures 12 by 4, and I've scored it 3.5 and 5.5. And this will help me to make a pocket on the left hand side of the page this time, that I can slip some extra photographs into the top of it. As the journal comes along, you'll see what I mean, because I end up putting extra tags in and things like that into the pocket in there. So I'm just trying to figure out, making sure that I have got it in the right way. And as you can see, the piece that will be on the right hand side of the centre is going to be a lot short. It's going to be shorter. I'm okay with that. Now, so I've just scored down the doily so that can get put in place. So, and before I start to sew it together, I'd give a quick flip through just to make sure that I'm happy with how the pages are looking. Do I need to change anything around? I've also added an envelope in, you'll see it in a minute, and I'll be able to add the guide into the side of the hem. It just fits perfectly into the side. And then also, you'll see I've got a large tag, and I wanted to put that tag on the outside. It took me a long while to sew it together, which I do off camera, because I just couldn't get it right. Didn't know what I was doing, and I was watching a YouTube and I was pulling it out and everything. Just could not get it right. So it eventually the tag does not get onto included. I've still got the tag. I've not included it so far, but I might be able to see if I can stick it on. So with this orange paper, I just wanted to add a bit more detail. So I've just wanted just one sheet of the papers inside the journal, just to have a punch border. So I've chosen that orange one, which is the first one behind the front cover. Then I decide that I want to be able to see the punch border, and I cut it down. My mistake, I cut it down too much. I think it's too much. As I'm doing this voiceover, I've not rectified that, but I will do. I'm not sure whether to put ribbon there or whether I'm going to put some more pattern paper or another punch border strip. I'm not sure, but instead of cutting about 1 centimetre off, I cut 1 inch, and it's just too much. So you see, it's all sewn together now. I do go off camera and I do cut down all the papers on the right hand side so that there's no overhang. So here I'm just putting tape to the bottom and the side of this flip out, so that will form a housing for some tags later on in the video. And then the back one I've just put into down the two sides, and that will, I'll just be able to put some little tags in there, or journaling cards. Here I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to put the that tag on the outside. Now I went through some of my L Studio journaling cards, which I thought might work well with this collection, and I wanted to make a flip out. I think that's what you call it. So using the 4x3 elements, I cut out the top one. I scored down 2 of the 3x4 cards, and I cut the last card off. Now this took me a while to figure out how I was going to do it. So basically I wanted it to flip out and flip up. I'd done a journal like this several years ago, and I'd done this flip out part. I wish I'd written down the instructions of how to do it, because it took me ages, forever, trying to figure out how to do it. So I've left it in here to say that all these things, you know, it looks easy. Well, it's not easy. It looked easy. It does look easy, but it took me a while to figure out which way I wanted the cards to go up, where to put the tabs, so I had that flip up, where to put the journaling cards and things like that. So you can see how I'm figuring it out is how to put the flip up part element to it, and where do I need to stick everything down. As I did a lot of this video in one take, so that's why you see my desk is a mess, because I just got into the process of working on this mini journal. I forgot to stop the recording and tidy my desk up, so I apologise for everything being all sponged up. And as I'm doing a recording, I couldn't sort of stop and start it all again, because I only had 1 sheet of paper. So here I am. So let's get back. Here I am trying to figure out where to put the tape. So I figured out where I need the tape to go, and where the journaling card needs to be, how the journaling card needs to be as well, because I want to make sure that the journaling card design is in the correct format, so it's not upside down. So that again, I'm trying to figure out where does it go? Does it go on that side? Does it go on this side? Do I stick them both together? Do I stick them back to back? What do I actually do to make sure that I can have that flip up, the pull out, as well as the flip up? So I've got part of it stuck together. I realise that I need to stick the tab for the flip up to the actual flip out bit. I don't think that makes sense, but you'll see how the process goes. So here I am, I've just worked out that yes, I need to put that like that, and then that'll flip up and that'll flip out. So I'll just put them all together. Let's make sure it's lined up. I do have to trim some of the journaling card down, because it's slightly bigger than the 3x4 element sheet. So I'll just trim it down to make sure that it does sit nicely in the journal and it's easy to flip up. It doesn't bend and things like that. So I add the second tab to the top, and then that is going to be put on there. So I'm just gonna trim it down around the sides. Again, I'm still trying to figure out, have I got this right? I'm gonna pull out, and so I need a second journaling card to go over the back of the Elmer Mickey hat thing that's there. So I want that covered up as well. So I've got the journaling card inside, but now I need to cover over that element there. So again, I get another journaling card. So this is how it's going to be in my book. So you're going to flip it out, flip it open, and then you're going to, so you flip it open and then you're going to flip it up as well. So everything's right. So I also, what I do as well as I'm going along is add some post-it notes so that, and put photographs so that as I'm going through my journal, I print the photographs at home and I can see where I want photographs to appear. I do make a mistake and I print some photographs for this section, landscape, and I needed them portrait. But I didn't throw them away. I have used them and I will show you in the next video how I've used them, so they weren't wasted. So now I want to cover that element up that's very much a Disney theme. And I did choose to use, well, I thought I was going to use that one. I think I'd use the other stripy one. So that, and I made the mistake, because it had taken me so long, of putting the tape, double-sided tape, on the front of the card, not on the back. So that went into the bin, and I ended up using a grid type one to just go over there. Oh, I was going to use the grid type one, and then I realised that there was still some elements I can use that wasn't really Disney, and I cut apart this one and used it over the top. I think I had to trim this down as well. Right, so I think I double check again and that it's in the right way. I'm sticking it down the right way, and that gets stuck down there. And I think I show you how it should eventually look. Let's just trim it down. So yeah, so it should eventually, when it's in the album, look like this. So here it is where I put the post-it notes on the elements that I want to add photographs to. So that, like I said, as I'm going along in the journal, I know which where I want to put photographs or where I want to put journaling. And I'll just stick post-it notes where the photographs are going to be. Makes it a lot easier for me when I'm printing them out. I can say, oh, I need 3 or I need 4 3x4s or smaller to go in these spots, as opposed to printing a batch of photographs out and having to decide, will they fit, won't they fit. So that's how it goes. So you pull it out like that and then you flip it up as well. That was very hard to do. Now I had one of these vellum bags as well, so I've just added some scraps of paper to the bottom edge, wrapped some twine round just to add an extra feature to it. That goes, I add that to the bottom of the bag, and then using some of the bits and pieces elements, I've just added a bird to the top. I can, because I've just left it like that at the moment, so I can add stickers from the sticker sheet or do some stamping and add some stamping to it as well. So again, another little envelope. I've just added a bit of scrap paper at the bottom, and using, I think I use the stickers from this one. I just add the sticker to the bottom. Really no reason of what stickers to use, just to use them, and I might put it in my album, in the mini book, sorry, or I might not, but it's just there to do while I'm in the mood to create. And then with the little tag that was already in there, I've just added some ribbon and just cut it down to size, stapled it in place with my Tim Holtz mini stapler, and that's it. And then in the bag I've just added some of the tags that was already there. Now I had a a wooden frame, and I've just backed it with some of the cardstock paper. I'm going to add the word into the wild, which I've added some dimensional form to the back, and add this giraffe to the left hand side. So again, it's just to add a bit more feature to the album. And these are bits and pieces that are ready to go when I actually come round to decorating the album and adding the photographs and things. Just making sure I glue everything down into place. Now, this is it for part 1. I'll be back later in the month with more pages for this album. Thank you.